That's with ice. Crazy. So while he's falling asleep. So
I did not think this would get to me like the way it did.
yeah, I didn't think so either. Welcome back to Drinks and Chill. My name is Gio. This is Matt, and today we're going to do something different.
Yeah, different.
But the same.
Yeah.
We kind of did this before.
We did something similar to this before, but we're kind of doing it the other way around this time.
Yep.
So before, we told you which was the best bourbon to have on the rocks. But today, we're going to tell you which is the best rocks to have your bourbon on.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to be using Evan Williams Bottled and Bond for each of them. When we did the best bourbon, this wasn't our favorite, but it was one that we both agreed was like solid. So we decided we're just going to use this one. So we're just going to pour a little bit into the mini Glens, and this is going to be like our control group right here so that we can get an idea of the taste. Sans ice. Cheers.
Cheers.
Smells like bourbon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. And I feel like it's hot enough that it'll stand up to the ice.
Oh yeah.
Like pretty well. It's not like really smooth, or it's not like the 40% thing. This is a 50%, 100 proof. So should we go ahead and
Begin?
Yeah.
All right. What am I doing?
I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and begin.
All right. So we have here is a glass with standard ice cubes.
Yeah.
But they're not cubes, they're more...
Like little ice crescents. If you have like a fridge, like an ice maker in your fridge, this is probably similar to the kind of ice you have in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna be scientific about this.
Oh, scientific.
We're gonna add exactly a shot.
Okay.
Now we don't have to drink the whole shot, but just so that we can be scientific here. Ounce and a half in here with 4 of like the fridge standard ice cubes. Cheers. That's nice.
You chilled it pretty quick.
Yeah, it did. It did a good job of chilling the whiskey. I feel like it hasn't really been sitting in there long enough for the ice to affect the flavor, really. To like cool it. Or to
dilute it.
Dilute it, that's the word I was looking for, yeah. That's pretty good, but I think the real test is going to come when we come back to it here in a little bit and see how it's
When
changed
it settles.
it. Yeah, after it's settled for a little bit. So
All right.
let's go ahead and put it back here, and we'll come back to it later. All right, so that was pretty good. Now we're going to try the next ice cube.
So our next one here is going to be the large ice cube.
Yeah, the single large, like actual cube of ice.
Which I actually like this one because, you know, it's like really slow melting. Oh, so you're not pouring this one for me?
No, I'm not pouring that one. You only get one free pour of a video. Cheers.
Cheers.
I feel like that one didn't cool it as quickly.
Nope. Still the same temperature.
Now it's cool.
Oh, you know what we could have done?
What's that?
Had like a thermometer and like lab coats.
You wanted to do the most, huh?
Just no. Well, you're doing scientific with the shot thing, so
It's not that scientific. Yeah, so it did cool off. It didn't cool immediately like that one did,
no.
but I mean, it did get there eventually.
The flavor's a little bit different. I'm not sure why.
On to the next ice cube.
On to the next one.
All right. Ice number 3 is the small ice sphere.
I don't think this is small. Are there larger ones?
I think so. I don't know. It's smaller than the one that we just tried.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So this didn't cool down anything.
No, I feel like it had like no effect whatsoever. This might be kind of a large glass for this cube as well.
Yeah,
But we were
it has
just
to be like a lot smaller ones.
Yeah, we were trying to use the same bourbon, same glasses for everything. That sip was cooler. I feel like so far they've all been kind of the same, but I think it's because we're tasting them like immediately after we add the ice. And then like what we're doing is after we try them, we're setting them back here, and then we're going to go back and try them in the same order so that we can have them after they've been in the ice for a while and really get a difference.
Yep.
This one took the longest to actually chill the whiskey, whereas I think the first one took the shortest amount of time.
Yeah. I think you want it to where it chills the whiskey, but not dilute it quickly. Because when you dilute it too quickly or too much, then basically the flavor goes away.
Round 2 will be when we figure out the dilution impact of it. So,
because each one will have almost the same amount of time. All right, this is going to be the ultimate test here. So this is actually going to be, they're called whiskey stones, even though they're metal.
Yeah, they're stainless steel whiskey stones.
Yeah. But there are actual stone ones too.
Yeah, we have this little kit here, and I just went ahead and brought this out. This is a little kit. It comes with 4 whiskey stones, so we're only using 3. But these are them, and they came with these little tongs to use, I guess, so we don't have to touch them. Yeah, whiskey stones, I think, have been sort of proven to not be the best way to chill your whiskey. But we're going to try it anyway.
Oh, is it because of the metallic taste?
I don't think it's a metallic taste. I've just heard that they don't do a very good job of cooling the whiskey.
Oh, well, this is what we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Cheers.
They look nice in there.
They do. They look nice. There's a little bit of chill there. Not a lot.
It chilled faster than the sphere one.
Yeah, it definitely did chill it faster than the sphere one, but I don't know if it will get to that temperature that the sphere one will eventually get to, you know?
And pretty much stay the same even on the second sip. So.
Yeah. Because with the sphere and even the big cube, like on the second sip, there was definitely a difference there.
As it melts, the inner core is a lot cooler than the outside. So it'll get colder as it melts it down. Yeah,
because when it does melt, I mean, what's going into the whiskey is, I mean, obviously water, but it's cold water.
Yeah.
So
well, this one is just going to be the temperature it is on the outside.
We'll see how these turn out here after we try all the rest. Let's try the control again.
Okay.
Just to kind of remind ourselves what it tastes like by itself. And then we'll go through each of the glasses again.
So before we do that, so our first round, what would you say you liked?
Honestly, the first round, I'd say I like the first one, like the one with the regular
cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but
that cooled down pretty quick. But our second round made complete change because it made water down way too.
Yeah. Tastes the same as it did the first time we tasted it.
Yeah.
But some people do say though that when you let the whiskey sit out and like breathe, it can kind of change. And in a way, I feel like it's not as harsh as it was when we first poured it.
Yeah, I think so. I think the first time it had a lot more bite, but the second time it's not that much.
Yeah. Now I don't know if that's because it's been sitting out or if it's just because we've been drinking all this and we're kind of acclimated now. But
so we're gonna go back through the standard one. It melted quite a bit.
Yeah, I can tell just from the. I don't know how you can see that, but I can tell just from looking at it that these ice cubes have melted.
Well, now that like the level increased a lot.
Yeah.
All right. The smell of it's got a lot sweeter.
I didn't even smell it. I just tasted it. Yeah, I can't smell it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's extremely watered down.
Yeah.
But it is very cold. I mean, this isn't bad, really. The taste is still there. The whiskey taste, but any notes that were discernible before aren't now. It's just like, what does it taste like? Oh, it tastes like whiskey.
Yeah, it just has that vanilla, sweet, like almost honey taste.
I don't know if I could tell like what whiskey this is. Like, I feel like if I was someone who drank Evan Williams a lot, I could smell this and be like, oh yeah, that's Evan Williams.
There's like a slight bite, like at the very, very end, but it's very...
I'm not even getting that. It's just like water with like a little bit of whiskey flavor to it. I wouldn't say don't do this just because it's nice, and at the beginning we did get that whiskey flavor that was there, and if you're like outside, you know, in the heat, something like this might be kind of nice. If
you want the flavor of the whiskey and just like kind of sip, this way it'll be like more like a quick drink.
Yeah. You
have to drink it a little bit quicker, just so you can get that flavor and get that cool. All right, this is the large cube.
Yep.
The cube is still pretty big.
Let's give it a shot.
This one has a lot more flavor to it.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm actually still getting that alcohol bite from this one. Whereas that one I really wasn't. That kind of like nutty flavor is still there that I feel like you get from Evan Williams a lot. I didn't get that in the first one, but I do get that here.
This one you get a lot more.
I can't smell anything.
This one I just smell cold.
Yeah, but like with this one, when I put it up to my nose, oh yeah, I'm smelling like all the things. I don't know what those things are. Who knows? But I'm smelling them.
So that is our large cube.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
No, this is actually pretty good.
This is more like sipping. You don't have to rush through it. You know it's gonna stay cold.
It's definitely watered down, but not near as much as.
Yeah. So next is gonna be the sphere.
I feel like this one hasn't melted as much.
Mine has. Mine like became like a mushroom.
Really? Look at mine. Like mine is still like intact.
Oh, interesting.
That's so weird.
Okay, so we got different melting degrees on. See mice?
All right, let's give this a shot. I like this one.
So mine is as diluted as the first one, and this one's been sitting a little bit longer than the first one.
This is somewhere in between the multiple cubes and the big cube. Do you want to try this one? See if it's any different?
A little bit better. I don't know why mine's melting as quickly. Maybe it's hotter on this side, even though like the AC's over here.
Yeah, well the AC isn't on.
No, but still, it's been stretching. It's very weird.
It is weird because they were both sitting right here the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, basically mine's like water now. So just like the first one.
Yeah, mine isn't quite there yet, but
No.
I feel like it's still. There's a little bit of bite to it, but the big ice cube still had more alcohol bite to it, even though it had been sitting longer.
So big ice cube is at the top right now.
Yeah. All right, and then finally the stones. So this level hasn't increased because there's nothing to melt into it.
And because of the stones, it makes it seem like it's a lot darker.
Yeah, but let's see if it's actually cooled more.
It's not. It's not super cold, but I think it's at a good level of cold.
It is, isn't it?
It's like putting your whiskey in front of an AC and leaving it there for a little bit and then pouring it out.
Yeah, like it's not as cold as any of these by any stretch, but it is chilled a little bit. This is actually not bad.
No. And the fact that it's not watered down, I'm liking this.
I am too. I didn't think I would. I thought that by the time we got back to the whiskey stones, after they'd been sitting for a little while, it would be like, oh yeah, it's just back to room temperature. But it's not. It's chilled. Not as much as the actual ice. But it's chilled to a level that is, I guess, pleasant. But you still get the full whiskey impact because...
Yeah. Because, like, for the other ones, like, we're drinking them and they're like water, so we're drinking them a lot faster. But with this one like kind of puts you at a halt. It's like, all right, slow down.
Yeah. Wow.
And I thought you would get like from like the stainless, I thought you'd get like a metallic taste to it. Kind of like drinking from like a can. But you're not really getting that.
I did not expect that. Why do whiskey stones get such a bad rap?
I'm not sure.
I am pleasantly surprised by these whiskey stones. The ones that you have that are like the actual sort of like porous stones, I feel like that's what a lot of people have. These are stainless steel stones. So I don't know if that makes a difference in...
Maybe they hold the cold longer?
Maybe. You know those wine chillers that you can get where it chills the wine? It doesn't chill the wine cold like if you put it in the refrigerator. But it still chills it like to cooler than room temperature. Like, because I think a refrigerator is usually around 36 to 37 degrees, but a wine chiller is usually somewhere in the 50s. And I feel like that's kind of what this is doing.
Yeah. It's
chilling it down to a point where you can tell that it's chilled and it's really nice, but it's not like this. All right, so we've tried them all twice at this point. We're going to try them again just in whatever order we feel like trying them, and then put them in order as far as which is our least favorite versus our most favorite.
And this third round is going to be the hardest round because a lot of it is already melting.
Yeah, at this point, they've all been sitting in their respective glasses for probably like 20-25 minutes. So we'll see what we can figure out here. Oh man, I am so tipsy right now. How are you feeling?
I'm okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, see, I forget that's how you are. You're fine until you hit that breaking point. Like, there's no like tipsy for you.
Yeah.
You just get like, oh, I'm fine, and then like, bam, you're just like,
it's like
slammered.
Like 3 more is like, I'm dead.
You just go from fine to dead. I at least go through like okay, I'm a little tipsy right now.
Like the stages.
Yeah. This guy doesn't get the stages. He's just like, he's fine, and then the next minute, he's on the floor.
Yeah.
All right, so which one is your least favorite?
It's gonna have to be this one.
Really?
My sphere.
For me, it's the cubes.
I think mine is a sphere because it melted way too quick.
Yeah.
And it watered down a lot faster than the other ones.
Yeah, and yours watered down a lot faster than mine did for whatever reason.
And it's still like going faster, even though it's been up here.
If you look at the levels, like mine is like way above his. It just watered it down too fast, and it basically just turned into whiskey flavored water.
Yeah.
So
that's basically me.
All right. Which is your next least?
It's gonna be the half cubes.
Okay, mine is the sphere. So we have the same bottom two, which is good.
Yeah. I think it's just because of the order in which it melted in.
Yeah. And
because like with yours, like mine is still there, and yours is pretty much. It's about the same for that one.
Yeah. For me, on the third tasting round, I felt like the sphere and the cube were almost like neck and neck. Or, I said that wrong. On the second round, I felt like the sphere and the tasting and the... I'm drunk, man. The sphere and the cube on the second round were almost neck and neck for me. But then when I tried them on this third round, the sphere had watered down more than the cube, which is why that's where it is. And
all
then
right,
next
one is going to be my large cube.
Yeah, same. Even now, I can still sort of get the flavors from the whiskey, like some of the notes.
Yeah, same here. It stayed cool, and it slowly diluted, a lot slower than the other ones, which that's what I liked. Even though it's a larger cube, you would think there would be more water going into it, but it was a lot slower.
Yeah, like over time, I think it held up better than the other two.
Yeah.
Like this one here, the one with the cubes, like when we first poured it and tasted it, this one chilled it a lot faster than either of these. But this one held up better over however many,
time.
like 20-25 minutes that it's been sitting like that.
This is good for 2 drinks, I feel like. Like 1 cube would be good for like two glasses.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, all right, so our favorite, which is going to be in the back, but it's supposed to be in the front.
Yeah.
Is going to be the whiskey stones.
The whiskey stones. Isn't that crazy?
Yep. This last tasting here, I can kind of see where the reviews are not really liking because it's warmer.
Yeah. This drink definitely was not as cold as these were.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me personally,
I wouldn't be going that fast. Or I wouldn't be drinking that slow.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're drinking all of these like together. I feel like that's not really an issue for me because typically when I drink whiskey, I drink it neat. So I like all those flavors that I get. So the fact that this doesn't get quite as cold as these doesn't really bother me.
I like it because it doesn't dilute it at all.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, whiskey stones aren't actually that bad. It's what I think the moral of the story is.
Yep. I think because it's a lot darker because it's not as diluted. The water is kind of lightening up the whiskey. And so that's probably why it's darker than the other ones.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's why it's darker, but I'm just talking about like the flavor and what you get from it.
But this is not good for like 2. I don't think it's good for 2.
No, I don't think so. Like if I was going to finish this drink, which I just did.
You have to like put this one in the other one and then replace it.
I would need new whiskey stones for the second drink. Whereas with this one, I could just pour my second drink into this glass with this ice.
Yeah. This is our review on what we thought, our opinion on which one we preferred.
Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. This is the one that we used.
Yeah. Drop the bottle.
I'm not gonna, dude. Okay, this first of all, this bottle costs like $15. So even if I did drop it, who cares?
No, we care because we'll be walking around.
That's true.
So that is our review on the Ice Cube review. Leave it down in the comments below of what you prefer the best way to chill your whiskey or what you do on a normal basis. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers. Whereas this one, I finished it. It's gone. So it's like, okay.
There we go.
Where's the whiskey?